Hi everyone, Chelsea Coghill here with Campus and Community Recreation, and I'm going to lead you through a series of 5 postures, and this is a deep stretch series. So if your body's super cranky from your home office environment, this is going to be really nice. I have it set up to hold the pose for 90 seconds each. You can shorten that down if you're short on time, or you can extend the postures. You can double that, and you can even go up to 3 to 5 minutes per pose if you really want like a nice deep yin practice, and that feels really good on the body. So you can start with 90 seconds per posture and then just adjust as needed. Always adjust and change the poses as you need to suit your body as best as you can. Okay, so this sequence is specifically to target your low back and hips. So if you feel pretty cranky in that area, this is going to feel really nice on the body. So these are my go-to postures for those areas. And the first pose would just be a standard forward fold. So you can take your feet hip distance apart, slightly wider if you prefer, and you're just going to fold at the hips, bend the knees, and you're just going to ragdoll your body forward. So from the side, you can have your knees bent as much as you need to. You can interlace the hands into the elbow creases, and you're just going to extend the legs as much as you need to feel that stretch at the back of the legs, and just be really loose and heavy with the head and the upper body. And to come out of this, you're going to inhale, lengthen, engage through the trunk, and then come up with a nice long flat back. Posture number 2, we'll call it a lizard stretch. You're just going to come into this low lunge position with one leg forward, and you'll take the hands to the inside of that front leg. So you can just hold this here, and if it's available to you, you can come down onto the forearms. And even if this isn't accessible, you can always scale and bolster these movements with a stool or a chair. You just want to feel that opening into the hip flexor and also on the hip of your front leg as you come down into this pose. So 90 seconds in your lizard stretch there. Okay, so from your lizard stretch, we're going to move into half pigeon. So you're just going to take that foot and you're going to heel toe over to the opposite hand. So we'll come down, that knee will come to the outer edge of the mat. You'll probably have to bring your heel a little bit closer to the hip. We want the hips squared to the wall that you're facing. So you can be right here, and you just come down to a position where you feel some resistance, or that first edge that could be your forearms. You could extend the arms and bring your forehead down. If this doesn't feel awesome, an option is to always use a wall, and you're going to come into a figure 4 right at a wall, which feels really nice. So foot comes to the wall, crossing your leg over, and you're just going to bring your body as close to the wall so that you feel some nice opening into the outside of the hip there. Okay, so from your half pigeon, we're going to come into a quadricep opener. So you'll just come over to the hip of your front leg and bring that front knee forward. So we've seen this before if you've watched the natural movement sequences, the side bent sit or the 90-degree angle shins. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to tuck under through the tail, and I'm going to press this knee down so that I can feel a stretch into my quad. Now I really want to lift out of the shoulders here. If you don't feel much in your quadricep in this position, you're just going to gently release yourself down onto your elbows. You might even be able to come all the way down onto your back, but you really want to focus on pressing that knee firmly down, and you should feel a nice opening at the front of the leg and maybe a little bit into the hip flexor. Okay, so to come out, you'll just gently press yourself up. The final posture in this sequence is a wide-legged forward fold, seated. So you're just going to come out, bring your legs as wide as you can seated. For forward folds, seated, I always like to use something to elevate the hips because it encourages that nice forward tilt of the pelvis. So with this one, you can have these postures be active or passive. We can flex the toes back towards the torso, engage through the quads, and you're just gonna hinge at the hips. So maybe you can bring your hands just in front. Maybe you wanna move through the pose and kind of sway from side to side. Or maybe you just wanna round through the back and let this be totally passive. So this is your final posture of the sequence. You'll go through and do starting with the lizard pose on the other side. Again, you can hold these postures for 45 to 90 seconds, up to 3 to 5 minutes, or you could also just count your breath. So if timers kind of mess up your Zen, then you can always just use a breath count. So maybe holding for 6 to 12 breaths per posture as you choose. So again, always scaling, adjusting each pose so that it feels really awesome in your body. I hope you enjoyed this sequence, and let me know how it went for you.